Hello, hi, welcome to Weekend Reading Book. I think this is the August one, and I think it goes up while I'm gone. So hi from vacation. Hi, vacation me. Hi. I don't know. The schedule's all wonky in my head. Weekend Reading Vlogs, a thing where I pick a book, usually from a DVR jar, in which I then try to read the whole thing in a weekend. Here we are. There's a whole playlist of them. Some of them are not TBR jars. Remember that time I read the whole entire Vampire Academy series? God. So there's a playlist of them. They'll be up above in the cards as a thing. The last one I did My Lady Jane. I did throw away the sticky note piece that had it on it, so I won't be picking out the sequel. I think because I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. It was good soup. It was a good book, right? I guess I should mention what the colors mean. Yellow are leftovers from last year, either 2023 books that I didn't read, and then also just some random ones I put in there. There should be some that Bestie Fish put in here still, right? If I managed to find the other Cinder, I just saw that I didn't think I put Anna Karenina in here. But I just read one of the pink ones that had it on here. If I pick Anna Karenina, I'm not doing it. At least not before I go on vacation. I don't got time for that. Same for Crying in H Mart, just because I can't get my hands on an audiobook at this moment in time. I honestly should just leave that bad boy out. Alright, there. I'm now leaving out Crying in H Mart. So yeah, pink is 24 and 2024. Kind of. A lot of them have been switched out. Like Hellbent's new, Skyward is new. I do have Brandon Sanderson in here, and so if I do pick Brandon Sanderson, that's like the only one I physically own. That's like, I have other Cosmere Universe books, but I gotta read the last Mistborn book first, which I don't have. So I would be reading that. Right. I'm trying to think. Oh, Then She Kissed Me is also new. There are a few books at DNF. There were a few that were SMP, so I switched them out. Things like that. Another thing I won't read if I get it is The Serpent and the Wings of Night, because that's planned for another thing. And I think that's it. Current hopes are The Good House, because I think I'm ready to give it a second try. I did soften of it in the beginning of the year, in February. I think I'm ready to try again. And then the other one is Crush, the sequel to Crave. I think Crave is still in here from last year. I almost read it for another vlog, but I didn't. But, you know, I think it is a longer book, but I think I can just read it in one sitting and have a good ass time. So, which is fitting because I am currently doing a Twilight watch along with a bunch of friends. So that's another thing. I can only read until 8 p.m. and it's 11:30 a.m. currently today, Saturday. Usually I film these the day before. Anyways, that's what I want. We'll see if it happens. That would mean I need to pick yellow though. And who knows what's in the yellows anymore. Well, we got a pink and yellow stuck together. If the trend that's been happening where I am not able to, or I've already read the first one, I will leave out the pink and that will be the second choice. But first choice is a fish one. What is this? The Ruby Red trilogy? Oh god. Let's hope it's not SMP. What was the pink? The pink was an SMP, so it's going in the trash. The pink is the one that Then She Kissed Me, I think. Or was it Hellbent? It may have been Hellbent. But it was down here. But I think it was replaced by Hellbent. I don't remember. Anyways, I'm gonna go check on the Ruby Red trilogy. They said it, when they put it in here, they said it was kind of bad, but they think I'd like it. Friendship, I guess. Okay, yeah, I get why they told me to read this. Did I properly show you this? I don't know. The way there's gonna be another thumbnail that's very red for this series. That's great. Ruby Red. I did go into the synopsis. It is Macmillan, so it's fine. It's fine. Also, it's translated. It's German initially, so that's fun. I don't think I've read anything that's initially German. I've read French. I've read Beowulf, whatever Beowulf is. I've read Russian. I've read Japanese, and I've read Chinese translated works. And what was Tender is the Flesh? Don't remember. But I don't think I've ever read German translated work, so that's fun. But yeah, I get now why they told me to read it. As like throwing it in as Hail Mary into this jar, because, and hear me out. This would have been end of 2022. So we would have been friends for about a year. And so they should have understood at that point that I love time travel. I love anything to do with time travel. This is even before I showed them Arrival. I love anything that plays with time and memories. Those two things. And while this one doesn't have memories, it does have time, where I don't remember her name, but she, it comes from a line of time travelers, and it was supposed to skip over her, so she's just like living her life. She's not taught anything about how it works or anything, what she's supposed to do. She's just living her life. And then is very upset when one day she just suddenly, uncontrollably time travels, and it's just a thing she does now. And she's just like, God damn it. And then there's this cute guy who's like her counterpart, that she kind of has a flirtation with. And yeah, I think I can read it all in one day. Honestly, this may just be today only. That's a lie. I have another book that the library is gonna return very, very soon. So I will make progress in that one instead of reading the whole thing today. But know that I could do it. Sadly, I do have to read Hush Hush. I think I'm gonna like this more than Hush Hush from what I'm reading from the synopsis, which is so great for me. But the audiobook of this one is also 9 hours. I didn't actually open it to see. But it says like, you know how Libby says like 9 hours, and then it's usually like 9 hours and like 32 minutes or something like that, right? But like I can do it in like 3-4 hours. 4 hours max, right? Not even 4 hours. It's gonna be like 3.5 hours. I can do it. It's easy. So, you know, also I got the audiobook. I think I could have gotten the ebook from Everend. I may do read it. I don't think I will do it because I can just puzzle. Right? But yeah, I got the audiobook from Libby. Let's heckin' go. I'm surprisingly excited. I can't wait to message the fish about this. What if I put a stingray on the thumbnail? But yeah, I'm gonna go read this bad boy. I'll update you halfway through. I'll try to update you every quarter. How about that? Every quarter I'll try to update you. So it's not like a 10-minute long vlog. That's mostly intro. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. Hello, hi. If you see any hay on me, no you don't. I am 23%. The next chapter is like half an hour long, so I'm counting it as a quarter, right? What is this book? Gwyneth is it cousin or sister? I don't remember which. I think it's cousin to Charlotte, and they have this time traveling gene, right? She has this cool aunt who can see the future, and there was something about her staying on a clock tower, right? She has the ability to see ghosts. I will talk about that in a second because I don't like her mother. And so her cousin and her were born a day apart, and apparently who the time traveler would be of this generation was, the math was done by, I think, Einstein. And so he got just barely wrong because they're all waiting for Charlotte to teleport, waiting for it. Also, I assume all the stomach pain she's having, because that's one of the signs, nausea, stomach pains and whatnot, is from stress of all this. But her whole entire life she's been taught how to deal with this. So when Gwyneth teleports, she doesn't fucking know what to do about it, right? She just teleported for the second time, and nobody knows yet except for her best friend. Her best friend, cool as fuck. She tells her best friend about the time traveling stuff, the fact that her aunt can see visions, that she can see ghosts, and her friend's all like, cool, ask the ghost if he ever buried treasure anywheres, because that'd be cool, right? So that's nice. Also there's this weird guy who hangs out in front of their building, and is like there constantly staring and waves at her right before she teleports the first time. So I think, I'm gonna guess that's the other guy who is a time traveler from another family that also has a time travel gene, right, who's around the same age, and he started recently, because it's between the ages of 16 and 17, I think, when you start. So he's the same age, and he started like 2 weeks ago. So, right, maybe it's him waiting for her. I don't know. Also another thing, I don't remember if every chapter was like this, but the chapter that I just finished was like this, where it ends, all of them end with this, like, this journal entry, and the one that just ended has to do with the stuff that happened when she time traveled the last time, in which she was in her house. So like the people who were living in the house at that time thought that she was a thief trying to steal stuff, right? And so then there's a journal entry about how there was a thief and there's some jewelry and silver missing, which she did not steal. So what's going on there? Okay, the mother, she does not tell her mother that she can time travel, and they got the math wrong, because when she tries to tell her mother, well, she tries multiple times, but the last time, like right before, the night before she time travels for the second time, right, she goes to tell her mother, and her mother is just like talking. The aunt had just had a vision, which is the first time any of the children had witnessed it, including Gwyneth. And so the mother's like, I don't know what to believe with the visions, because like sometimes they come true, sometimes they don't, as far as we know. I believe that she thinks she has visions. And then Gwyneth is like, wait a second, are you the same way with me and my ghost? And she's like, yeah, I believe you can see ghosts. And yeah, it's a kind of way to have your mother tell you she believes that you believe you can see stuff, but you don't. She doesn't actually know if you can actually see things, but you're not crazy, like, right, like when it's like, what the fuck, mom? But in a nicer way. And so she doesn't tell her mother that she's actually the one who can time travel, because she just learned that her mother doesn't believe that she can actually see ghosts. She just believes that she can see ghosts. So she's like, she's just gonna believe that I believe I can time travel, and not gonna fucking believe me, which is valid. Thank you very much. I have not met the grandmother character yet, but I have a feeling I'm not gonna like her, because she's very stuck up type elderly lady. So that's fun. And that's that. I think the guy who is basically the butler, but also he like has an ability where like he can teleport, kind of. Seems like he can teleport to wherever he needs you to be, right? Whenever you need something. Seems to know. Like, she brought her cousin home from school early because she was having a upset stomach. Because like they live in a normal town in which nobody knows about this, right? And so when she has an upset stomach, she takes her home in case she's about to time travel, right? So it doesn't happen in front of all these people, right? And when he opens the door, looks at her in a certain way, and then the second time when she travels back, he also is like, okay. So maybe he knows, I don't know. Anyways, that's that. So far I'm liking it. I haven't met him yet, the love interest yet, but I'm having a good time, which is really funny, because when I took a picture of the thing that said Ruby Red Trilogy and sent it to the fish, they said, haha, I forgot to put that in there. I kind of liked it more than I thought I would, but I don't think you'll like it. And I'm currently having a good time, so like, I assume something between the two, like her and the love interest, is gonna be something that I don't like. That's the only reason I can put on why I wouldn't like this, because I'm having a good time, right? Like, it's a good book. Anyways, I'm gonna go try to read more, because it is Twilight night, and you know, we are watching Eclipse. That's the third one, right? I'm Breaking Dawn Part 1. I don't know why we split up the parts of Breaking Dawn into two separate nights. That means I have to wait almost a whole 24 hours to watch Breaking Dawn Part 2, which is flower-phobic, because that's my favorite one. Anyways, yeah, I have like, an hour and a half before that. So I think I can get to the halfway point of this before then. Cool. Well, I'm 49% of the way through. Things that happened. The bestie, Gwyneth disappeared, time traveled right in front of her. So then while she's gone, she like takes her phone and is like, hey, call your fucking mom. So she calls her mom, and her mom freaks out and takes her to the secret society because no, she was not born one day after her cousin. She was born the same day. They falsified the documents to quote unquote protect her, and then there's something to do with a cousin who's the last Ruby, right? Because there's like technically 12 of them, but most of the genes died out, so there's like just her and then the Gideon guy, right? And she's the Ruby. And apparently I think the last Ruby was named Lucy. She was her cousin, and her mom helped her do something that included stealing the time machine they have to help control it with your blood, and to run off with that guy. And so that whole thing's happening, right? I don't know if I mentioned this in the last update, but she saw in the past someone who looked exactly like her kissing this guy, and when she meets Gideon, she quickly realizes that's the guy. That's not suspicious. That's not weird. She's questioned a lot. They automatically assume that 1, it's all false, or 2, it's real, but she's controlled by her mother and it's all a secret plot to destroy them. So that's great. She has no clue what's happening. Charlotte is upset because she's not the real Ruby. It seems that Charlotte and Gideon were in a relationship, right? And he slightly feels bad for Gwyneth. He's not calling her by the wrong name, right? And he does state that he just like assumed that Gwyneth is a superficial girl when Charlotte explains her as being superficial, right? Because she happened to not grow up in this world. And so he's like, I kind of feel bad for her though, because like she doesn't understand anything, so she's just it's gonna end up horribly for her and all this stuff. So that's fun. There's a thing with an older doctor who gives her a bunch of shots and whatnot, but also takes her blood to do the thing with the time travel machine, who she does not trust. One thing I will give this book, this bitch does not trust him. He's a very rude old man who keeps on saying really mean things about her and her mother. So she goes, yeah, I don't want to go alone with this guy. I don't want to be alone in a room with this guy, let alone for medical reasons. And they're like, you're right. Okay, sure. So they have this other guy who's nice to her. He's like the one who's really nice to her, watches her time travel, to confirm that's a thing, and answers some of her questions, including the fact that, there's this kid named Robert who's dead, right, that she can see. And so, who's hanging around this doctor. So he sits there for a bit before this, other lady who works there comes in, and can watch over the whole thing, right? And near the end, the doctor becomes somewhat nicer to her, right? And afterwards she learns that he became very rude and mean after his son Robert died. So that's very sad. Good time sometimes. I assume there's gonna be something about something secret society stuff, right? In which her seeing ghosts will help her figure out what's actually happening, and Gideon will be the one who's like in the dark, and she will have to help him or something like that. Like, I assume that's what's happening. It's giving me, and hear me out, and this may partly be because her best friend did bring up the fact that she could fall in love with a Highlander, but it is giving Outlander. I'm sorry, mixed with the Ninth House. And I like Outlander in premise. We're not going to go into depth about that. And I really like Ninth House. I really want to reread it because I think if I reread it, it will be a 5-star because I do not stop thinking about that book. Right? So, it's given me the combination of those two mixed with basically any YA, mid-10s YA book marketed towards a more feminine audience. Right? It's very much that mixed with Outlander and Ninth House. And I'm liking it. I'm really confused. Oh, why the bestie doesn't think I like this. Is it because I hate every character that isn't the main character? Possibly. Minus the bestie. Possibly. But that doesn't mean anything because I'm still having a good time. Like, it's currently a 4-star. I really hope it stays like this. And then I get to go, bitch, I rated a book higher than you do. And then read the next one. Did they even read the sequels? I don't know. How many books are there? There's supposed to be 12 time travelers because, like, 12 clocks, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of other stuff. So, like, is that a thing? Also, her teacher, the one teacher we've met, is also a part of the secret society, and she figures this out because her best friend notices the fact that the ring that he always wears has the same symbol that she found when she was looking up stuff, right? And when she's about to time travel, the other guy who's part of the society gives her a flashlight and a ring with that symbol to say, like, hey, I'm from this crew. So if she runs into, like, anyone else from the society in the past, they'll know, oh, you're the fucking time traveler. Okay, we'll protect you. Unless if that's not the plan, and the plan is to actually kill. Is it theory me coming out right now? The aunt had a vision of her on a clock tower, right? And the time travel stuff, on top of normal having to do with clocks, has a lot to do with clocks. Well, clocks have been brought up a lot. So is there something to do with, like, her figuring out secret information, corrupt government maybe, or corrupt society stuff with that? Also, is it something to do with Lucy? Like, is Lucy, like, secretly, like, everyone thinks she's a villain, but she was actually a good guy and all this stuff, and she ends up helping Lucy? Like, I'm getting too into it. I actually contemplated finishing it today. But in, like, less than 50 minutes, I have Twilight Marathon, so don't think it's gonna happen. So, sad. Alas. Anyways, yeah. I'm having a good time. That's it. That's the update. I forgot I had it on the yellow light. I'm not gonna change it. I am 76% of the way through. I'm having a good time. The fish rated this 3.75 stars. I would like to note this. And the next one rated 4 stars. I didn't check what they rated the third one. Also, I forgot to mention yesterday, this is now the September episode, because it's a fish book, therefore I should do it in Fish Month because it's their birthday, and this will be coming out, I think, the day after I get home from vacation, so hey, but also shortly after their birthday, so, like, go wish them a happy birthday. Their links are below. Anyways, book. So what's happened at this point is basically Gwyneth and Gideon go back in time because she has to meet the Count, who is basically an ancestor of, I don't think hers, I think of his, in which they, he's like the guy who made basically the group, the secret society, the lodge, is what it's called. Yes, I did think of Twin Peaks when he said that. Also, no women are allowed, and Gideon doesn't clock that. Doesn't clock how suspicious, how weird that is. Right? And then when they do meet, when she meets the Count for the first time, he is immediately just full on sexism. You know, the stuff you're expecting when you go into, I don't remember the time period. Right. Like, it's many, I think it's one of the other guys is there. Gideon is his great-grandson's great-grandson. So that many generations ago, right? The amount of sexism you expect, which is, like, him being like, that's why no women are allowed in my, secret society, blah, blah, blah. Right? Gideon ignores this. He's all like, you should have expected that. Which, like, yeah, I did. Doesn't make it any better, my dude. Like, shut the fuck up. Including, leaving her in a room with 2 guys she's never met before. Right? That's, like, not cool. Right? Especially when one of them very clearly scares her, and she talks time travel with them, they don't believe her, blah, blah, blah. Right? There's this whole thing where, they basically question on how could this be, all this stuff, and then also that she never got the proper training, because she wasn't supposed to be the time traveler, and so the Count's just like, how dare fuck you, and, like, basically, you know, being the Count, and there's, like, rumors that he can read your mind, right? And, she's like, okay, there's, like, no way he can read my mind. And also, he's, like, an old guy. He can't do anything. At the end of their meeting, he literally uses the Force on her. He chokes her with his mind and tells her in her mind, if you fuck with any of my plans, I will destroy you. Right? And she's just like, oh shit. Okay, I'm scared now. We learned that Gideon has gotten with now Gwyneth's blood. They have 8 members of the 12 bloodlines, right? Or yeah, 12 time traveling people, blah blah blah, collected, right? And they need all of them in order to do a thing, secret stuff she doesn't know. Because nobody will answer her fucking questions, and it's annoying me, and it's annoying her. And they're all like, well, your mother was supposed to tell you if you were, like, the one who, like, if you had gotten the proper training, your mother would have told you all this stuff. Blame your mother. And it's like, yeah, sure, blame the mother, because, like, she made it so this whole situation's fucking happening. But also, none of these rich white guys can fucking tell me shut the fuck up, right? Like, yeah, good times. Also, it's heavily hinted that, like, some of the people who have, like, the blood that he needs are women that really don't like the Count, right? Like, really hate the Count. And Gideon is just, like, nice to them, and they're just, like, cool with him, because, you know, 21st century version of, like, respecting women. So he's just, like, nice to the woman, and then they're like, cool, have my blood. That's kind of funny. Anyways, yeah, after that whole situation, which Gideon doesn't know about. He doesn't know about the forced choking stuff. Also, there's, like, a whole thing where the Count asked her what her, special ability is. So I think all of them have special abilities. And she says, I don't have one. I'm not special. In which Gideon agrees and says, you're just ordinary, at a later point, which I will bring up in a second. We know she can speak to ghosts and doesn't bring it up. Like, that's not the first thing that pops into her head. Also, the prophecy is something to do with the ruby and a raven. And ravens are a sign of death. Therefore, hello? Girl. Anyways, that's a thing that happens. Carriage ride back, trying to get back to the time machine to make it easier, right? He talks to her some, and he's trying to, like, calm her down from the whole situation, not knowing what the situation was, but could tell that she was stressed, by just saying that she's, like, an ordinary random girl, all this stuff. And she's like, thanks. And then he starts listing off things that girls, just stereotypical, like, teenage boy being like, a girl's like nothing but shopping and pop stars and blah 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 blah. And she laughs so hard in his face, because she's like, bitch, you know nothing about women. The only woman you have my age, our age, that you have talked to regularly and, like, is my cousin, who has the same training as you. Literally, any normal average girl my age may be like that, and it may seem minuscule in your eyes, like, you know nothing, like, you're just a you're just so girly and blah blah blah, blah gross, yeah, stuff. But, like, hear me out. That's probably because you only, like, know normal girls from standing the sidelines at school, because learning, like, 6 languages and fencing and all this stuff probably did not make you popular in school, so you never actually talked to a normal fucking girl, had a conversation with one. And so, like, what do you even know about girls our age? Like, shut the fuck up. And it was so funny. He played it like that was his plan to like, distract her, which I don't know if it was actually his plan. I don't think so. I don't think he expected that extent. Like, I think he expected to, like, annoy her to a point, or piss her off to a point where she would get distracted. Not the fact that she would go off on him and he'd be like, I mean, I guess. Also, there was another thing with the Count where, like, they were, like, Gideon was talking to him in multiple languages, German and French, talking about how, she doesn't speak any other languages. And at one point, he does make fun of her for not knowing Latin, which 99% of the world does not speak Latin. Like, hello. In the 21st century, no, most people do not speak Latin. Like, what the hell are you talking about? She's been raised as not having to do any of this stuff. Like, she's been raised as a normal girl. She would not take Latin in school. Thank you very much. But she doesn't tell him that she is taking German and French. So while they're having this whole conversation about her in German and French about how she knows nothing, and all this stuff, and she's useless, she can put, like, she can tell most of what they're saying. Because she does speak German and French. And that's kind of funny. Anyways, they're attacked. There's, like, a few people that I'm a little suspicious of, randomly. Like, I think the house where the time machine is located, where they teleport it, like, no, the place where the time machine is located in the 21st century. In the Count days, I think the people are untrustworthy there because the way they act and whatnot, it's a little suspicious. It's a little weird, right? And then they're attacked and almost killed. And the only reason they're not killed is because she picks up a sword and kills one of the guys attacking them. Sneaks up behind them and kills one of them. Right? And right before the other one dies, he says, they were ordered, and then the time's up, teleporting back. So good times. Anyways, I'm still having a good time. I'm having a good time. It's only a trilogy, so like, what if I continue the series? Like, I'm having a good. Is it because the sexism? Is it because the misogyny from the time travel, and a little bit from Gideon, like the standoffishness from Gideon? Because that part I really do not like. And a lot of just the other people as well. Right. Also, her mother told her not to trust anyone. But, like, basically every man sucks ass. Every man, part of the secret society at least, sucks ass so much. Right? So that's fun. And I get where they were coming from. If that's why, I may ask them why they think I wouldn't like this. And then, make that part of this, but I don't know. Anyways, me go finish. Right? Because it's not even 2 o'clock yet. I have less than an hour in roast speed, I think. I can finish this easily today. Did I return the other audiobook that was due today and not read it because I'm much more enjoying this one? Yes. It's a similar vibe, but I'm enjoying this one more. You know, I think it's because I like Gideon. I think it's because the relationship with Gideon isn't even really a relationship. Like, there's hints that they'll probably end up together, right? With that second time she time traveled. I think that was the second time, maybe the third time. I don't remember. Maybe it was the third time. Where she saw someone who looked exactly like her kiss him, right? But, like, as far as, like, there's no, like, hint of romantic stuff. Like, he has a relationship with her cousin. They've just met. She does not like him because of how precious he is towards her, and whatnot. And so, like, I don't care that much about the way, like, I care the way that he treats her. But it doesn't affect me as much as it does in other books because, like, currently I'm not getting romantic vibes from them. Like, I'm not seeing it. So, you know, that's a fun time. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Oh, maybe I should mention the fact that, Lucy, the family member who, stole the other time machine, part of that was stealing all the blood they had gathered that they were almost come done with. And in the process of doing that, it ruined the secret thing that they're setting up, right? And her mom mentioned something about lots of power. Whoever has it, like, has a lot of power, and so she stole it to keep it from anyone having that power, right? And it's somewhere in the past with her lover, right? But that's why Gideon had to go and get all his blood, because he has to restart again, and he's been doing that the past 2 years. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna go. I turned the light to white. And I put baby back in the corner. Me as baby. I finished book. Something did happen at the end that made me question a little my rating to a 3.75. First, I did ask the fish why they thought I wouldn't like it, and they said, I don't know, it's been so long, I can't remember anything about these books. I do remember I almost bought them physically, but I don't remember why I didn't think you'd like them. I assume it's something to do with Gideon, right? Hear me out. They agreed with me. They were like, yeah, their relationship is, and then it's just a bunch of question marks.
Because I was like, I don't get any romantic things going on here. Like, there's a part, so she kills a guy, right, to save him, and afterwards she's freaking out for valid reasons, and she's like, God, shut the fuck up. And she literally stabs at him about how all she's been doing the past few days is time traveling, which is a thing she was never supposed to do. So she has no clue what she's doing and has to deal with his arrogant ass all day. And then she saves his life, killing a man, and all he can do is snap at her and all this stuff, and then starts crying. And he's like, "Shit, you right," hugs her, apologizes. But I was like, that's not given romantic. So explain to me why at the very end of the book they kiss. Anyways, there's something with like her great-great-grandmother, I think it was, right? Won't give her blood to do the thing with the time machine, right? And ask for Gwyneth. And so they're like, it has to be a trap, because the only people who could have told her who Gwyneth is Lucy and Paul, the two people who stole the other time machine, right? And because Lucy was friends with her mother, happened to be like, her mother happened to be protecting them, hiding her in their house when she was pregnant with Gwyneth, but assumed they left before Gwyneth was born, but it is confirmed they left after she was born. Like, they actually held her as like a newborn baby. They seem very protective of her. Like, for a brief second there, I did, in the epilogue, it's like them, and I did contemplate if like they're actually the secret parents of Gwyneth, right? But I don't think so, because they did call her father, and whatnot. So I don't think that's what's happening, right? But basically there's like a standoff between Lucy and Paul versus Gideon, because they're like, we just want to talk to Gwyneth, like, please, telling her not to like talk to the Count. She can never talk to the Count, and don't see the Count. She's like, I already have. And they're like, oh my god, does he know about your secret power of the Raven? And she's like, no, I don't have a secret power of the Raven. That's another thing. Gideon told her there's no way she has a secret power of the Raven, because she's just a normal, ordinary girl in an ordinary world, right? Yeah, there's also a thing where like there's this guy at school who she used to date who is very, I don't like him. He's possibly my least favorite of the modern day people, because his whole thing is anytime a girl, especially her, likes a guy, he calls them gay and says they must be gay because blah blah blah. Anyways, because he's jealous and doesn't like the fact that she broke up with him, and tries to like put his hand around her shoulders and all this stuff. And yeah, no, it's not cute. And Gideon seems to be jealous of that. That's not suspicious, that's weird. Anyways, yeah, no, Gideon like almost shoots Lucy. It's this whole thing. The way that she kisses this man after he does that, and she's like, bitch, what the fuck? They have to go and hide out in the church. They're stuck there until the time is up, and they'll automatically teleport back. Right? So they're just hiding in a church, chatting it up, being friendly. And then he compliments her because Charlotte always listens and does to what he says, but Gwyneth doesn't. You know, she has agency, self-agency. And so it hasn't been forced into a secret society to do everything that random old rich white men has told her to do, and so she continues to do that in her relationships. Amazing. And so then he kisses her, and that's how the book ends. And then there's an epilogue of Lucy and Paul talking about how they need to protect her, right? And how much she's grown and all this stuff. And I think everything rides on her. The end. I liked it. I really did. It's so funny because I am contemplating a 3.75 just because of that end kiss. I think that's what I'm gonna go with, which is so funny because that's what the fish rated it. That's so funny. I already put the second book on my TBR. Giant TBR, not like planned TBR. I maybe will read it while I'm away. But yeah, no, I liked it. It's a good time. Like, I'm liking it. Also, I keep on forgetting it's initially German because it takes place in England, right? Also, the narrator does a really good job. I recommend the audiobook. But yeah, no, I keep on forgetting that small fact. Anyways, I guess I can say I read a German translated work now and really liked it. I really liked it. It's much better than the other YA fantasy leaning towards feminine audience with a weird relationship I don't like. Or that I'm also reading. I don't want to read that one. I got returned to Libby, so it's fine. It's on that print. I'm gonna read it anyways. But I'm talking about Hush Hush, by the way. I forgot that this comes out after the People with Wings vlog. Yeah, no, I'm talking about Hush Hush. I like this better than what I've read of Hush Hush so far. So, there's that. And that's everything, I think. Good times. Me like book good. We'll continue a series. I kind of want to continue it ASAP. I think the audiobooks are all going to be around a similar length. Like, all around under 10 hours. So, like, if I make time, I think I can do it. Because I want to read them sooner rather than later. Right. Also, I did make a joke that the family tree, because the fish went, there's, like, incest going on there, right? Which... Lucy makes a joke that she's gonna have to make a family tree, right? And I think it's Paul's ancestor is a twin of Gideon's ancestor, who are ancestors of the Count. I think. So technically, I think they're related through marriage. But I made a joke that is once upon a time levels of family tree, and I laugh. I could go a little bit. That's everything. I'm gonna go 3.75 stars. It's pretty good. Until that kiss at the end, I was really, really, really enjoying myself. And yeah, that's that. I don't know what the next video is gonna be. Oh no, I was right. It's not gonna be my TBR, but it's gonna be my TBR, not my wrap up. I was right. I did figure it out in my head right. Yeah, the next video is TBR, and then it's gonna be wrap up, and then because it will be October, I assume a horror themed vlog at some point in October, but honestly, I have nothing planned for October. That's a lie. I do have plans for October. I was right. It's gonna be my TBR for October after this, and then it's gonna be the quarterly wrap up. But the next vlog should be one where I read random books that I have on my Kindle. I have so many. So that's that vlog. So that's that. Fun times. I forgot I had October planned as well. Why do I do this myself? Anyways, that's everything. Linked below is the fish. It is still fish month, so go wish them a happy birthday. Other things that are happening Fridays here, nights, me streaming YouTube. I think I've got up to this point done, like this Friday. Streams from me playing games on Twitch, up on YouTube, the full thing, so that's there. If you want to watch that. And then Fridays at normal time is the podcast, which is linked below. There's YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. I always forget about that. Good times. We're getting scary close to 100 episodes. We don't need to talk about that. Anyways, that's that. That's everything. I'm gonna go until the next video.